I don't specifically know who invented pizza, but whoever did has to be my favorite foodie. I think it's universally known that everybody likes pizza. I think it can definitely be agreed on. I've never met anyone that doesn't like pizza. The one thing I do know that I've had a debate on for years is whether pineapple is appropriate on pizza. If you said no, please exit this window because I love pineapple on pizza. If you're new to my channel, I'm Reese from Reese Where's My Spoon, and tonight we are gonna be making pizza from scratch. So come on, what are we waiting for? Let's dig in. So I actually recommend doing this a different way than I did in the video. And instead of putting your 4.5 cups of bread flour in the way I did here, I actually recommend separating it. So do 3 cups of your bread flour and then your 1 cup of water mixed together with your 1 teaspoon of yeast. Add that to the flour mixture, knead it together, and then add in the remainder of your flour. Knead that, and then you're gonna wanna add in your other cup of water and knead again. Followed by your salt once you get that nice doughy air effect on the dough. That's just because it's going to allow the kneading process to be a little easier and kind of create a foolproof way of having your dough. It's not going to be too dry and it's not going to be too wet. So definitely suggest this way over what I recorded in the video. And of course, if what I just said doesn't make any sense and you want to make this pizza dough and you're like, I'm a little confused as to what you're talking about right now, just shoot me a DM on Instagram or send me an email and I'll definitely try to explain this a little better than I probably have in this video. So what I'm doing here is just checking the consistency of my dough to make sure it's not too wet, which it wasn't. But again, I recommend doing it the other way just because it makes the process foolproof. You can use your granite if it's clean. I prefer using a mat just because I find cleanup easier. You're just going to sprinkle some flour and place the dough upside down onto this mat and allow it to rise for 1 hour. You're definitely going to also want to use a stainless steel bowl, by the way. It just allows the process to rise quicker. Now in the meantime, I'm going to make my pizza sauce. So I'm going to add my spices to a separate bowl. And that way I can just add it easier to the San Marzano tomatoes that I'm going to place in a separate bowl. You can pick this up at Walmart or any other grocery store for that matter. So you're just going to want to add the San Marzano tomatoes to a separate bowl. You're going to want to add your 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic, and then you're going to add all your spices that you placed in that separate bowl. And you're going to use your hands to just crush. I mean, take it old school. This is a great, great pizza sauce. And yeah, you definitely want to wash your hands before you do this, and of course after. Try not to eat the sauce along the way. I know it smells good and tastes good, but you're going to definitely want to wait to enjoy this pizza because it honestly is one of the most amazing pizzas I've ever made, and it's all without using a wood-fired oven. When your dough is done rising, what you're going to do is you're going to see that it's risen quite a lot, and so you're going to separate it into 2 or 3 depending on how much it's risen, separate balls, and then you're going to knead them individually into separate pizzas. Now you can freeze this dough. It does freeze well. Just wrap it in plastic, make sure it's nice and sealed so it doesn't get any freezer burn, and place it in your freezer. Now you're just going to channel your inner pizza person and you're going to spread the dough out into the shape of a pizza. I can honestly never get the perfect circle just because I'm always too rushed and not meticulous enough, I guess. But yeah, you're also going to want to shape the crust. I definitely also recommend being gentle because the pizza dough can tear easily. It's easy to fix, just fold it back over and redo. You can make the crust just by leveling off the center of the pizza and raising the edges. And then you're going to place it on a pizza pan and put some of your olive oil around the pizza crust to give it that nice char when it's cooking. So you're going to put it around the ridge that you made, and then you're going to just use your fingers to coat the crust in olive oil, sort of separating the crust from the center of the pizza, and then make your second dough, make your second base, and start saucing it up, adding your cheese, adding your toppings, and you're going to enjoy. So I actually put my base in the oven before I put any sauce in for about 3 minutes, just for it to get a little sturdy, and make sure that the center of the pizza is cooked. I do find that sometimes it becomes a little soggy if I don't do this. Obviously, you can use your discretion to put pizza sauce, just depending on how saucy you like your pizza. I prefer it more saucy. My husband does not. Just be aware that if you're not going to pre-cook your base, the center can be a little watery. After you pre-cook your base, you can add your sauce and your toppings and then cook it for the remainder of the 10 minutes. You're then going to cook your pizza at 500 degrees for the remainder of the 10 minutes, or until your cheese is completely melted and your crust is nice and charred. Give it a few minutes to just rest for a bit and then cut and enjoy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with my videos. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you make this by dropping a comment below.